Amid the ongoing fires burning the Zuko Valley, an ecological hotspot in the northeast region that shares boundary with Nagaland and Manipur, both states are now struggling to douse the raging fires. Fire at the Zuko Range started in the southern Angami region of Nagaland on December 29th last and by yesterday had completely ravaged Manipur's highest peak, Mount Iso. Over the last 8 days, however, the firefighting teams have been able to control only 60% of the flames as high-velocity winds continue to reignite fires and hamper operations. In Manipur, a 28-year-old UK returnee, Jessie Hekrijam, has tested negative for UK variant at NIV Pune today. With 65 new COVID-19 cases recorded in Manipur in the last 24 hours, the total tally has climbed to 28,484. Manipur did not report fatality in the last 24 hours, while the death toll stands at 363. The cumulative number of active cases is 479, while the recovery cases are 27,642. The state's recovery rate is 97.04% as of now. 2 more UK returnees have tested positive for the new coronavirus variant. The total number of UK returnees having tested positive for the new coronavirus strain has now mounted to 73, as informed by the Union Health Ministry. The results are based on the genome sequencing of positive samples released by the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium INSACOG labs. The results are based on the genome sequencing of positive samples released by the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium INSACOG labs. India added 20,346 coronavirus cases today as the overall number of cases in the country neared 1.04 crore, the Health Ministry's data showed. The number of fresh infections reported today were 12% higher than yesterday. In this period, India reported 222 deaths linked to the virus, taking the total number of fatalities to 150,336. A man was arrested for possessing 14 grams of illicit heroin at Khongman Mangjil in IMPHAL East yesterday. He has been identified as Nongmaithim Benson Singh, aged 31 years, son of N. Biren Singh of Kaishamthong Khodam Leirag in IMPHAL West. The arrested along with the seized drug was handed over to the officer in charge of Irilbung Police Station, a police report said. A man rescued 2 trapped barn owls at Huidrom village. Nandebam Premjit of Kurai Kongpal Sajor Lekai in IMPHAL East later handed over the barn owls to People for Animal PFA Thobal. IMPHAL West Commando apprehended 3 persons along with huge quantity of Indian-made foreign liquor IMFL in IMPHAL yesterday. Pukrambam Ajit Singh, aged 40 years, son of late P. Arun Singh of Hoja Dubalong Lekai, Assam, Longjam Jackson, aged 32 years, son of L. Manibabu Singh of Maharabi Makha Lekai, and Paujonbo Chawang, aged 27 years, son of Tungamang Chawang of Dimapur United North Colony, were transporting the 4,923 litres of liquor in 2 trucks, a report said. With the avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, wreaking havoc in several states across the country, Meghalaya has prepared a set of standard operating procedures (SOPs) to prevent outbreak of the disease. As a precautionary measure, the Meghalaya Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Department is likely to release a set of SOPs and guidelines to be followed to prevent the outbreak of bird flu in the state. The India-Bangladesh border in Assam's Karimganj town will be sealed by means of smart fencing. This decision was taken by the Assam government, a media report said. Smart fencing will include advanced surveillance system and alarm gadgetry. Smart fencing will be used to seal the unfenced part of the international border between India and Bangladesh in Karimganj town of Assam. Supporters of US President Donald Trump breached the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. yesterday in an attempt to stop the US Congress from ratifying the Electoral College vote that would officially confirm Joe Biden's victory over Donald Trump. According to media reports, Trump supporters created chaos that resulted in rioting and violence, forcing world leaders to condemn the ugly scenes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed distress over the news about rioting and violence in Washington, D.C. last night. Prime Minister Modi called for an orderly and peaceful transfer of power, adding that the democratic process cannot be allowed to be subverted through unlawful protests.